There are moments when you don't need anyone to say anything. You just need them to be there. No advice, no solutions, no one trying to fix what you're feeling. Just a hug. Enough for you to feel, I'm not alone in this mess. You know that feeling, don't you? Standing in a room full of people and still feeling like no one really sees you. When the sadness doesn't explode into tears, but quietly turns into an emptiness that nothing seems to fill. We live in such a noisy world, and yet somehow, it's in the silence that people break the most. And the strange, beautiful thing is, a single hug can say everything that words just can't reach. No need to ask, what's wrong? No need to say, it's gonna be okay. Just be there. Wrap your arms around them, slowly, gently. And somehow, that hug becomes a language. A way of saying, I'm not leaving. I see you. I'm here. If you've ever been the one who needed that kind of hug, or the one who gave it, you'll understand. It's not just an action, it's a small kind of miracle in a world that's too busy to stop and notice. A hug. It sounds simple, but really, it's an art. A language that needs no translation, no dictionary, no explanation. We learn it before we even know how to speak. From the moment we let out our first cry and someone holds us close in their arms, our body learns, this is safety, this is love, this is where I belong. But as we grow up, caught in the rush of life, we forget. We hurry. We talk too much. We explain too much. And in trying so hard to say the right words, we forget one thing. Sometimes, silent presence is the greatest gift of all. When someone is in free fall, you don't need to catch them. They just need to know that if they fall, there will be a soft place to land. And a hug is that soft place. You don't need to understand the whole story. You don't need to ask, what happened? Because truthfully, people don't always need answers. Sometimes, what they really need is a safe space to let it all out, without judgment, without analysis, without being fixed. The right hug at the right moment can say, you don't have to hold it together anymore. Go ahead and fall apart. I'm still here. And the miracle is, in the quiet of that hug, healing begins from the inside, not because you did something grand, but because you gave them permission to simply be themselves in a world that keeps demanding they be okay. A hug with no words, but full of meaning. I see you. You're not invisible. You're not alone in this. So next time you see someone breaking, don't rush to speak. Don't try to say the perfect thing. Just open your arms and stay, because sometimes that's the only thing they need to not fall completely apart. A hug, it's not just about reaching out your arms and pulling someone close. It's a subtle form of communication through energy. And like any deep conversation, a hug only truly touches the heart when you're fully present in that moment. Have you noticed? Some hugs feel comforting, grounding, like coming home. But others, even when bodies are close, they feel distant, empty. The difference lies in the intention, in the energy you carry, and the emotion you're willing to share. The art of hugging isn't about how strong or how long. It's about, are you really there, fully, mind and body? Is your breath slowing down to match theirs? Are your hands stiff with awkwardness or soft with empathy? A hug can say so much, even when you're too afraid to speak. It can say, I'm sorry, I miss you. I don't have words, but I'm here. The key is, don't force it. You don't hug to take away someone's pain. You hug to share space with it. You're not trying to change how they feel. You're just allowing them to feel completely and safely. You might think, I didn't do anything special. But the truth is, your quiet kindness might be the only thing keeping someone from falling apart. They may not remember what you said, but they'll remember so clearly that when they had no strength left, you reached out. and didn't ask for anything. The art of a hug isn't about technique. It's about the heart you bring into those few seconds. Because some hugs only last a moment, but their echo stays in someone's soul for a lifetime. You know what's strange about hugs? They don't have to be long. They don't have to be perfect. They just need to come at the right time. A hug given at the right moment can heal wounds that years of therapy haven't reached. Because it's not just an action, it's emotional feedback without words. It's a kind of quiet, I get it, without needing to explain. When someone is breaking, the last thing they need is advice. They don't need you to say, be strong. Everything's going to be okay. They know that. But in that moment, they don't need hope. They need space to fall apart. And your hug, if it comes from a genuine place, might just be the softest medicine. You don't need to say, I'll stay. Just don't be the first to let go. Let them lean on you for just a few more seconds, long enough for their heartbeat to settle, long enough so the pain doesn't swallow them whole. A healing hug is silent, but fully present. No rush, no performance, no fear or hesitation. Just you, there, fully, without distraction, without holding back. And it's a beautiful thing when your presence becomes the resting place for a weary soul. No need to explain, because the right hug doesn't require words, just the deep acceptance that every emotion is welcome here. That hug says, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be okay right now. I'm still here. And that, right there, is what makes someone stop feeling alone. You don't need to fix anyone. Just don't make them feel guilty for hurting. Let them know, in their darkest moment, they're still allowed to be soft, still allowed to be held. Because sometimes, it's inside that one embrace that their heart finally begins to find its way home. A hug isn't just about how you begin it. It's also about how you end it. Because the moment you let go, if it's at the right time, that's what can make the hug stay in someone's memory forever. Let go too soon, and it leaves a sense of something unfinished. Hold on too long, and it can feel stifling, as if you're clinging instead of simply being there. The art lies in the subtlety of knowing when to emotionally step away. You have to listen, not with your ears, but with your energy. Is the other person gently tightening their grip? Are they asking, without words, to stay just a little longer? Or are they slowly pulling away, breathing faster, eyes looking down? You don't need to ask. You just need to sense, because real connection doesn't live in the length of the hug. It lives in how you leave, and whether your presence stays behind, even after your arms have let go. The way you step back can leave someone thinking, someone just understood me, without needing me to explain a thing. And that is a feeling more powerful than any words. There's something strange about human emotion. When something ends at the right time, it leaves a kind of pleasant space, like a song that stops on the perfect final note, leaving you wanting to hear it again, not feeling like it overstayed. And with hugs, it's the same. When you let go at that moment, when both hearts have just gently released a little pain, you don't just ease their burden. You leave behind a quiet resonance, a softness that stays long after everything else fades. Remember, it's not about how long you were there. It's about how fully present you were in those few short seconds. A good hug ends with the feeling, that was enough. I was seen. I wasn't left behind. And sometimes, the way you gently step back is the very thing that makes someone want to come close again. You don't have to be a therapist. You don't need the perfect words. And you certainly don't have to be perfect. You just have to show up, fully, honestly, without distractions. Because sometimes, the only thing standing between someone and total despair is a hug, the right one, from the right person, and without a single word. If you've ever walked through a dark season, you know how priceless that silent hug can be. It doesn't say, everything will be okay. It simply says, I'm not leaving you alone in this. We live in a world that's busier, louder, and more rushed than ever. But hugs, when given from the heart, are how we still hold each other together. not with logic, but with presence, with feeling, with a kind of love that doesn't need to be spoken. So if tomorrow gives you the chance, hug someone, not because you have to, but because you get to offer something gentle in a world that's forgotten how. And if you've ever received a hug that changed you, or offered one to someone standing on the edge of breaking, share that story in the comments below. Someone out there might need to read your moment just to keep going. And if today's message reached you, subscribe to the channel, because the journey of listening is sometimes the journey of returning to yourself.